Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu The Outer Worlds. Wir sind in Stellar Bay. Gerade noch hier dabei, erstmal alles abzugrasen, bevor wir uns dann hier aktiv um die Quests bemühen. Beim paar habe ich schon Fortschritt gemacht, so nebenbei, weil man halt doch immer irgendwie dann die NPCs trifft und so. Aber noch nicht gezielt irgendwen gesucht, um eine Quest zu beenden. So, dann gehen wir jetzt mal hier in das Gebäude. Da waren wir nämlich noch nicht. Das ist natürlich jetzt direkt eine Quest, aber ist ja auch egal.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember. What can Auntie Abigail do for you? And what a helpful young lady you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits. Who's your lucky friend, dearie? I'm so sorry, but with the iconoclasts and the marauder filth chasing away what little trade we get, I'm afraid I have to reserve my supply for Stellar Bay residents. Our reserves have gotten so low, I've even had to start locking the supply room upstairs. Isn't it a shame what some people will do to get a little extra? Isn't it just? I'd make an exception for you if I could, my little cherub. Is there anyone else needing a special pickup from Auntie Abigail? Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry. I'm afraid it'll be the better part of a month. Our dear Nyoka tends to exhaust her supply rather quickly. Believe me, there's nothing I'd love better than to help you. But there's not much I can do. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them.
Aber ich vielleicht.
Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room, for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his. The one upstairs, where we store our medicines. In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some rather daring substance combinations. The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties. Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie.
So. Okay.
Chin up, dearie.
Einschüchtern muss ich sie jetzt nicht unbedingt. Wir haben ja genug alternative Wege. Noch. Angestellten noch. Ach, Mann. Wollen wir einen Account anlegen? Also ich muss meine Hacking-Skills auf jeden Fall verbessern. Das ist ja nicht so toll. So. Dann gehen wir hier rüber. Ah ja, da sind wir am Ende. Bewohner. Kann ich das hier knacken, ohne dass die das bemerken? Hallo. Okay, kann ich nicht. So, was gibt's hier noch so? Ja, ist ja blöd für den. So, Moment. Hast du einen Namen?
I think I'm gonna be sick. No! I just stepped in a dead man's blood. And I think one of the flies landed on my mouth. If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
Aber da war ich auch noch nicht, oder? So, machen wir erstmal unten. Ah ja.
Oh, sorry. Just spooked me, was all.
What a gruesome way to die.
Dieser Wettbeleg dokumentiert einige sehr optimistische Wetten für ein Team namens Mostly Colonists. Es wurde von Left Field Tossball Betting ausgestellt. In diesen Koffer wurden mehrere zerlumpte Sätze Kleidung, alle von gleicher Farbe und gleichem Stil gestopft. Komischer Koffer. Okay. Das war hier alles. Oh. Das hätte auch ins Auge gehen können. Guten Tag, ich störe nur ungern, aber aus der Wohnung über mir strömt ein freudiger Geruch. Ich weiß nicht, was Celia da oben macht, aber sie arbeitet für dich, nicht wahr? Könntest du vielleicht mit ihr darüber sprechen? Isaac, kannst du bitte deine Fenster schließen? Wie ich bereits zu erklären versucht habe, können geöffnete Fenster, insbesondere wenn Essen in der Nähe ist, Mantisschwärme anlocken. Mantischwärme, sorry. Und ein Manti-Schwarmbefall ist ein Problem für uns alle. Braxton, ich weiß, du bist Tag und Nacht unterwegs. Das weiß ich, weil ich dich zu jeder erdenklichen Uhrzeit kommen oder gehen höre. Haha. Aber vielleicht könntest du versuchen, deine Tür etwas leiser zu schließen? Ich habe angeschlagene Nerven und jedes Mal, wenn ich deine Tür knallen höre, befürchte ich schon ein zweites Amber Heights. Okay, das ist so eine, die ihren Nachbarn nervt. Warte schon, da kommt jemand angerannt. Also jemand, der mich verknacken will oder so.
Whatever you do, don't mention tossball to Isaac. You'll never hear the end of it. I haven't seen him in a while.
So, mach doch bitte mal die Tür hier zu. Damit wir hier in Frieden klauen können. Ui. Jede Menge tolle Sachen. Na, hier sollte ich vielleicht. Ah. Aber bist du dann Braxton? Nee, ach, das ist eine Frau.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
Sehr verdächtig. Warum sollte jemand, der nichts zu verbergen hat, zu erschrecken? So, da müssen wir dann vor, aber dann gehen wir erstmal noch hier rein. Bewohner, Bewohner, Bewohner. Everett.
Good day to you.
Ah. Ist das richtige für Pavati,
by
oder?
the stars, my poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit. Most people don't. Besides, this place is enough to try anyone's nerves. Where should I begin? With the oversized mantisaurs? Or perhaps the rats spewing acid at our walls? The board was right. This place isn't fit for human habitation, and I was a fool for staying. That was a real popular meal 10, 20 years back, before the board tucked tail and ran. These days, everybody's had a belly full of salt tuna, They all want borscht. And the mushrooms, well, not many venture out of town, what with the monsters hereabouts. I can whip one up for you, but it'll cost. Here's a menu.
Oh, yikes. I can't cover this much, Captain. What? No, Captain, I don't want you to do it this way.
It's all right, miss. I'm a coward at heart. Made that clear from the outset. Look, Captain, this is the best I can do without putting myself out of business. I'm mighty glad you reckon so. This is gonna take about an hour in the oven. Nothing I can do to speed it. That's just how cooking works. There we are. Now, if you don't mind, I really need to take a leak.
My belly's gurgling just to smell it, Mr. Raymond. Thank you so much.
A pleasure to help such a charming young lady. You're a gentle soul, miss. Be careful with this one, all right? She's kind of a brute.
Oh, gosh. My tum's rumbling just smelling that casserole.
Herzküchlein. Mal gucken, wo wir die finden.
You're fast.
Hell yeah. Schon lange nicht mehr rumgeballert. Boller, boller, boller. So, dann gehen wir mal hier weiter. Bewohner, Bewohner.
The body's in the first apartment on the right.
Mörder verkunden. Da ist nichts. Bin ich nicht sicher, ob ich da erwischt werde. Oh, was haben wir hier noch?
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like one of Catherine's. What can I get you? All sales are final, unless you threaten me. I'm kidding. Don't threaten me.
So, hat die jetzt Herzküchlein? Sieht ja nicht so aus. So, aber war ich dann jetzt überall? Ah, da war ich noch nicht drin.
Wrapped musk and canid eyes, right here.
Gehen wir da mal noch kurz rein.
Could I
Ja, da ist die
get
Celia.
another advance, Mr. Nandi? Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. I couldn't. What if he says no? Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny. Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up. Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
So, dann der Sanjanandi.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
Nein, du hast ein Meeting mit mir.
Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon. I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now, what business brings you here? Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for salt tuna. Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Mr. Vicar, I don't want to be rude, but I don't think that means anything.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Returning to the board is your only chance if you hope to survive here on Monarch. That doesn't mean it'll be easily achievable.
Indeed not. No worthwhile plan was ever simple. That's what I always say.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Ich habe nicht mal Stufe 1 Intelligenz.
In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in, these days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. What can I do for you?
Gib mir all dein Geld.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2, but back then it was known as Terra 1. As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Ms. Holcomb is our endlessly optimistic crew hand. It's good for the captain's morale.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else. Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship. I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
A necessary evil for the greater good of society.
That's exactly how the board describes it.
Mhm.
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way. He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
I will admit, I am keen to meet their leader.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Graham has a habit of ruining everything, and everyone around him. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels, and pushes us further from the rest of the colony. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Erstmal weg hier, beziehungsweise gucken, was es hier sonst noch gibt. Managa. Hört euch, wenn ich eure Nachrichten lese? Zusammenfassung brauchen wir jetzt nicht. Arbeitslosens brauchen wir nicht. So. Zweiter Ausgang. Ah ne, hier waren wir. Ah ja, okay. Das heißt, hier war ich noch gar nicht. Beziehungsweise so semi. Hier ging's hoch. Deine Medikamente habe ich noch nicht.
Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell and revel with us?
Das war der falsche. Na gut. Was haben wir jetzt für eine Quest? AS-Lager. Also das ist jetzt die Quest. Ist eigentlich egal, mit welcher ich anfange, oder? Machen wir jetzt einfach die Quest. Vielleicht kommen wir jetzt wieder ein bisschen Action. Auch schon wieder eine halbe Stunde von der Folge rum. Jetzt schon Zeit, dass wir dann ein paar Gegner wegballern.
Hold on to your hats, children. This ride is about to get ugly.
You reckon the smell ever goes away? Maybe the wind off the sea helps.
Try me.
Oh, was ist denn da jetzt explodiert? Okay. Also für das Gewehr brauche ich auch mal einen Ersatz dann demnächst. Das ist echt nicht mehr so gut.
Got a fight on our hands.
Also nach dem Waffenwechsel, der erste Schuss hat gerade wieder nicht funktioniert. Finde ich nicht so geil. Okay. Easy peasy. Mal da rein. Ah ne, aber... Oh, ein leerer Mülleimer, das ist ja ärgerlich. Na gut, dann gehen wir halt mal zu der Quest-Location. Ach, das ist ja doch schon wieder ein Viech.
You won't get any mercy from me.
Ah, wir sind fast da. Da geht's rein. Raptophobie. Vorteilspunkt. Irgendwas hatte ich doch noch. Ah ja, Dialogfertigkeiten. Kommt es noch mal. Also man kriegt quasi noch so kleinere Trophäen, wenn man bestimmte Dinge erledigt. In dem Fall bestimmte Gegner. Weiß nicht, wofür kann man denn schlafen? Also, was bringt das? Werkbank. Oh, da drüben ist eine rote Tür. Oh. Uh-oh. Na komm. Oh, noch einer Shit. Ah, noch einer. Ist ja recht. Oh. Oh, fuck. Ah, scheiße. Oder einfach... Moment, hat er sich gerade wieder geheilt? Guter Penner. Ah, ist Gebäudeschlüssel. Aber ich kann es auch gratis knacken, also. Wozu die Mühe machen? Was habt ihr hier noch so alles versteckt? Sanja hat die unliebsame Angewohnheit, seine Berichte mit Zahlen und Statistiken zu füllen. Die Verwendung von Slogans, Jingles und/oder Taglines ist mangelhaft. Präsentationen sind oft trocken und Gelegenheiten für emotionales Investment oder humorvolle Referenzen bleiben ungenutzt. Sanja tendiert außerdem dazu, Arbeit abzuschließen, anstatt sie zu delegieren, was für eine Position in der oberen Führungsebene nicht förderlich ist. Insgesamt weisen Sanjas Arbeitsgewohnheiten auf eine überbordende Detailtreue und einen Mangel an Vision hin. Eine weitere Beförderung wird nicht empfohlen. Naja. Da waren wir gerade. Graham. Alle löschen. Okay. Das war dann wohl gut, was ich gemacht habe. So, jetzt mal da mal noch hoch. Hühnchen.
Hello? Hello? I hear boots out there. Wait, can rats wear boots? Oh, thank the Eternal. I'm Huxley. Hux if you're lazy. I'm stuck. My friends and I were scavenging here, and a Mana Queen showed up. Then Raptidons. It was a void-blasted mess. I ran in here and, now the door's locked. Little help? It's easier than it sounds, alright? Next time you get chased by Raptidons, you let me know the rationality of your decisions. Phew. Thanks, lady. My buddy had a key, but I ain't heard him in a while. He locked me in here and took off. Probably got munched. So look for a dead guy, I guess. Or a rat. Maybe it's in a rat belly. Gross. What do you mean? It's locked. Wait, upward? Oh, my eternal soul!
Oh,
it
man.
worked.
Phew. Thank you so much. It was getting all stuffy in there, and I was getting a mite lightheaded, and I think maybe I was gonna die. Now I'm out here, and I'm headed back to Amber Heights. Oh, sure, I'm a runner. I'm used to getting all dizzy, and hey, who's your identical, slightly blurry friend? But I ain't got nothing on me. How's about a heaping helping of appreciation and respect? That's true. Okay, fine. Here. Thanks a lot, lady.
So, dann kann ich hier noch gemütlich plündern. Gut. Aber die Quest, denke ich, erledigt, oder? Ja, jetzt hätten wir hier noch den.
Hit! Coming back.
Let's go!
Fuck. Ich weiß halt nicht, wie diese Fähigkeiten funktionieren. Nein! Mann, ey. Scheiß Säure. Oh ne, jetzt muss ich das alles nochmal einsammeln. Wieso passiert mir das eigentlich immer wieder? Also warum schaffe ich es nicht, einfach hier nochmal zu speichern? Oh, das misst viel jetzt ab. Das ist doch jetzt auch scheiße. Okay, das bringe ich zurück. Das ist jetzt hier auf der anderen Seite der Brücke, wie es aussieht. Oh, fuck. Gott, das haben wir gleich. Der war schon für meinen Geschmack zu tanky. Wenn man Granatwerfer auspacken muss, ist das schon immer eine Notlösung, würde ich sagen. Wieder bei der Schlüssel gewesen, aber durch unser technisches Know-how, was heißt, wir legen den Schalter einfach um, haben wir es ja geschafft, die Tür auch so aufzukriegen. Oh ne, wieder so ein Viech. No, weil ich nachgeladen hatte. Gut. Wieder eine Schlacht überstanden. Vielleicht nochmal speichern. Sagt die Uhr. Okay, Viertelstunde noch. Dann schaffen wir doch die Quest bestimmt auch noch. Residenz, aber das ist nicht der Friedhof, okay. Okay. So, das wäre dann auch wieder in der City. Boundbreaker, Ratte aus Edelstahl. Wo ist denn das? Ist es in der Stadt, wie es aussieht? Geheime Kämmerlein. Das ist auch in der Nee, das ist hier. Dann machen wir das mal. Ah.
A visitor? What an unexpected surprise! Please, come in. Come in.
I, for one, welcome a reprieve from our travels. That is, if you'll have us, kind sir.
That's the spirit. Now come in. Make yourselves comfortable. Excellent. You've arrived at just the right time. My wife is putting the finishing touches on dinner. Please, make yourself at home until it's ready.
Martha? Libby Martha. Moment. Ah ja. Jetzt sind wir quasi hier eingesperrt, oder wie?
What a pleasant surprise. And just when I was beginning to fear we'd seen the last of good company for a spell. Yet the Eternal provides, does it not?
Only if you give yourself over to the plan, Martha. May I call you Martha?
By all means, just make yourself comfortable. Company is always a reason for cheer. And who could? Stretch out your hand and cosmic divinity reaches back. Open wide your mouth and the universe provides sustenance. That they do. Though it's up to us to make the most of those opportunities, wouldn't you say? Look at me, prattling on as if this gravy is going to cook itself. Why don't you run along until we are ready for dinner?
So.
Oh, hello there. You come for dinner? That's nice. We had someone else over a week ago or yesterday. I forget. It just gets hard to remember things. I recall moments, feelings, but the details slip.
I felt like that after my dad passed. Walked around in a haze for weeks. I'm sorry you're feeling that way too.
Other times it's like there's fog. Sorry, have we talked about this before? That's nice of you. I usually feel better after I eat. Mama said dinner's almost ready, huh?
So, aber was ist das jetzt hier für ein Ort? Kommt mir irgendwie komisch vor. Also mich wundert halt auch, dass ich jetzt eingesperrt bin. Das ist seltenst ein gutes Zeichen. Privat, nicht lesen.
You trying to get us all in trouble? What do you think you're doing? Just keep your fingers to your own self, okay?
Ja, geh doch weg.
Hey,
What are you doing in my room? Liar! You're trying to steal the last of my rocket candies, aren't you? The ones that come in a bottle with a rocket ship on it. Like the other man used to bring. I'm not telling you.
Ja, ich kann halt nicht hier weg. Muss ich jetzt nochmal laden? Ah, jetzt. Ja, lassen wir das mal so. Ich habe schon irgendwie das Gefühl, dass ich mich hier dann rausballern muss. Mal. Also ich... Oh. Ja, knacken wir mal hier die Tür. Das geheime Kämmerlein. Ah, das ist der andere... Ja, die wollen das Team wahrscheinlich auch zum Essen servieren, oder? Ah ja, und wieder ein Level up. So, dann hauen wir mal wieder... tricky. Aber trotzdem da 2, da 2, da 2. Und dann hauen wir dich auf 80. Und ein neuer Vorteil. Ja. Das ist cool. Okay. 10% Rüstungswert, Fertigkeitsbonus. Aber Fertigkeiten, keine Ahnung. 100 Kilo Tragekapazität, ist natürlich auch gut. Plus 20% Schaden. Mhm. Okay, wir nehmen natürlich erstmal die Tragekapazität. So, hier war doch noch eine Tür, genau. Achso, das ist Ausgang.
But what's this? You're tracking blood into the kitchen. Oh dear. You've been nosy, haven't you?
How very rude.
Time to teach you some manners.
Oh.
Don't mess with me!
Can't get past
that over!
Careful, you're hurt!
Ja, okay. War jetzt ungünstig, dass ich die Waffe erst noch wechseln musste.
How?
Time.
Nice hit! They're too tough! Find something else!
Ja, weil ich in der Ecke festhing. Halt auch gar nicht mal so einfach.
How?
Time, here they come.
How many others do you suppose
So. Oh. Noch ein Dietrich. Natürlich schon mitnehmen. Ups. Ja, ja. Muss in jeder Welt irgendwie so eine Kannibalenfamilie geben, oder? Also egal, ob das jetzt Walking Dead ist oder hier oder, keine Ahnung, beliebiges anderes Spiel einsetzen. So, dann machen wir jetzt noch kurz ein bisschen Inventarmanagement. Nochmal schön sortieren. Alles gut. So, dich brauchen wir nicht. Eigentlich brauche ich diesen blöden Schockstab ja auch nicht. So, was ist das? Damit. So. Das ist noch zweimal die gleiche, die ich schon habe. Hm. Abgesägte Schrotflinte. Naja. Was haben wir hier für neue tolle Rüstungen? Oh, eine Brille. Okay. Joa. Das heißt auch wieder zurück. Gut, dann machen wir das als nächstes. Dann gehe ich jetzt noch hier schnellreisepunktmäßig nach da. Und dann würde ich hier die Folge direkt beenden. Wir haben ja jetzt schon einiges erledigt und die Stunde ist auch fast erreicht. Dann danke ich euch fürs Zuschauen. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, lasst mir ein Like und ein Abo da. Schreibt mir das in die Kommentare. Und dann sehen wir uns zur nächsten Folge wieder bei The Outer Worlds. Tschüss!